Greetings, everybody. Welcome to David's Kitchen, where I've got a couple big squashes here. We've got a spaghetti squash we're going to be cooking with tonight. I've got a zucchini from the summer that was from someone's garden that is fantastic, but I'm not going to cook with that tonight. That'll be about four other meals. Fine. The big task is going to be getting this thing cooked right here. Tonight we're going to be making a beef spaghetti. I happen to have a pound of 15% fat ground beef that was $2 off. So normally this was $3.99. I got it for $1.99. So that's $2 for the beef, if you can manage that. $1 for this big, huge 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes that you can get at the dollar store. So I'm up to $3, and of course $1 for the spaghetti squash. So that's, I got it about 9 months ago, so that's $4. And then I factored in some pepper, like this is a yellow pepper, a couple of onions, a 33-cent can of tomato paste, which I'm going to show you how to make sauce out of that. And I picked up some celery, some organic celery and organic carrots, just a couple items, all for under $1 total. So we're at $5, and I'm going to start making this dish. Yeah, 9 months ago we got the spaghetti squash. We just got the zucchini, though. That's like a late August, September kind of thing. And someone had it in the garden. And they have some mole worms eating on the outside. You can see right there. They're munching on it. They're moles, garden moles, not worms, but garden moles. So we still cook with it, of course, because hey, there's Silent Man, because it's perfectly fine. All right, we got a big project ahead. This is not going to be easy. I take on big tasks when I do the show. And what I'm going to do is start cutting up this thing, and if I were to peel it with a peeler, it would take me forever. So what I'm going to do is just bisect it with a knife. I'm using a standard chopping blade. These are really hard to cut, so once you get in, you got to just keep it going. All right. What to do with this? It's really kind of gross. So what I'm going to do is pull the seed ball out. And maybe put it in the garden. Plant another year, you know? You never know. This is a really good source of starch, yet it's not not a high carb thing. It's got nutrition in it. Just grab that seed ball out with your hands. Oh, look, it's already sprouting. See, this is what happens from inside if you don't get to it. It's got little sprouts coming up. Look at this. That's ready to go in the garden. That's ready to grow right there. Isn't it amazing? So this thing was telling me, eat me, eat me. Eat me. Yeah. Don't tell that to your wife. She might take you seriously. Or she might say it to you. That would not be good. No. All right, so, oh man, this is really, I picked the perfect time to get this out of here. I'm taking my hand in there because it's the most efficient way to get it out. You want to get all the seeds out. Seeds. So this spaghetti squash, my first experience with spaghetti squash was in 1985. Somebody showed me how to cook it and turned me on to making the vegetarian kind of thing. I didn't have beef in it because back in the 80s, people were becoming vegetarians. And I was a vegetarian for a while until I realized how much better it tasted with beef in it. Okay, seeds are out. And they're also paying the you-know-what Seeds are the biggest problem with this whole dish, I think. Okay. I'm going to get some water boiling on the stove. All right. There we go. It already looks like spaghetti inside. Okay. Let's get some fresh water on the kitchen filter system that I have here. Put that in there, and I'll take a little sip of coffee while I'm holding the container. Mmm. Yum, yum. It's so bright here in David's kitchen, I'll tell you. You know, I love it here. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and when we have sun, it's very appreciated. Okay, that's about half with water in it. And we'll start that on a level 5. I'm going to take it up to level 5, which is about a medium on your stove. Medium heat. If you have a gas stove, it'll be about medium heat. All right, and I'm going to put a little salt in the water. All right. Helps with flavoring. And then to cut this thing, what I'm going to do is cut it again. In a circle. And I'm going to make a ring. Like that. Let me give you a better shot of that. See? There we go. Posture. Everything's posture. I'm going to slice it down the side. Geometrically around the edge. As you can see, it's very simple. You want to use a nice strong cutting board and make sure the surface under you has got some strength. Otherwise, you're going to have no leverage. You don't want to do this in your car while you're driving, you know. Not the kind of thing you can do. Okay, there's like one ring. Go for another ring. A little pound. Very tough when it's not cooked. And getting that skin off is essential. So we're going to do it again. Making sure your fingers are not near the item. Going straight down on it. Okay, another ring is done. I'm going to take and shave off the outside of the end piece with the knife. Go straight down on it. Don't try to peel this, it'll take forever. You got to use a knife on it. But try to leave as much of the meat on and less skin goes in the skin is not something you want to eat. Okay. That water getting warm. There we go. And we'll do it one more time, because I've got a big one to cook here. And you're going to say, how are you going to cook all this? Well, I'm going to try to cook it all. But I found this is the most efficient way to cut and prepare this dish. Anything less is just too much of a difficult time preparing, because when you're making it with pasta, you just open the pasta up and throw it in the water, right? Well, not so easy with something like this. But the texture of this looks and feels like spaghetti when you get around to cooking it. It really does. I was quite amazed when it was first made for me. Okay, and one more cut here. Be very careful with a big knife like this. This takes years of professional training. Luckily for you, I have over 45 years of cooking experience. Brought to the show way more than Chef Ramsay, I assure you. He has hardly anywhere near the cooking experience that I have. It's a shame that he has 47 restaurants, you know, and I have this kitchen, but that's okay. I chose not to live a stressful life and go, "My God, man, pull yourself together! Piss off!" There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and do the final piece. Always cutting away from you. And use that knife like you would in defense, you know. "You're not messing with me, Squash. I'm going to take you down." It was a big squash. It's a big problem, too. I know what you're saying. Is he going to cut his fingers off? Well, last I checked, I still have them. All right, guess what? I just did it. Now I've got my compost heap. And all these things go in the compost bin. With all the other compost. Get your compost, everybody. And that goes in the garden to feed the worms. That's how the earth replenishes itself, unlike the psycho murderers that are trying to dump chemicals in the air, trying to kill off the planet right now. But we'll get to that later in the show. Yeah. Poor Richie from Boston, he's so confused. He's doing videos of claiming the government's spraying all these chemicals in the atmosphere to a solar cover operation. Yeah, solar cover operation. That's what they're doing. No, Richie, they're poisoning us. All right. What do I need? Clean paper towel. My one clean paper towel that I use over and over again for my cooking show. All right, so we throw the compost down here so we don't have to look at it. And then we look at the cutting of the squash. That's the best part. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut it in pieces that are suitable for cooking. So I'm going to go about 1-inch chunks. Like that. I'm just going to drop them in the water that I've got boiling over here. Almost boiling, starting to steam, and then I'll cool the water off a little bit. The question is, will I be able to fit it all in that one container? That's the real question. I don't know. Got a lot of squash here. I think it's a very tight miss. I think I'm going to just have a little bit too much squash to deal with. The rings are easy. Yeah, I'm going to have to have 2 containers. Okay, I'll be right back. I got to go in another container. Okie dokie. Got another one. We'll fill it up with half water again. And I'll make room on the big burner over here. Actually, Actually, I'm going to bump this one to the back burner. Take it up to level 5. Hello. Attack of the compost bin. No, I don't walk like Trump. Trump walks like me. He went to the David walking school. Okay, that's back on the... They're both at level 5 now, and I'll cover that one too. That nice? Nice having equipment. Okay, let's keep this cutting operation going, shall we? Hello. Okay. Okay. Now, typically, spaghetti costs about $1. So you can replace the low carb with... They make low carb spaghetti now, by the way. So you can look for spaghetti with spinach in it and various other vegetables. But this is the best way to get low carb. Okay, I'm done. And I got to put a little salt in the water. All right, cover that up. I'm going to take it both up to level 7. I'm going to get these things boiling very fast. All right. Meantime, clear the board off and start cooking some of the other vegetables. I'm going to be putting together a sauce, a meat sauce, on the back burner here. These seeds are dogging me, I'll tell you. Okay, back burner is going to have level 3 to start with. Get that pan hot. Then we'll put some onions in it. And onions are super simple to cut. As you've seen this before, I just do a couple slices in the middle of a half piece, then I go like that. That's 1/2 of an onion. About 2 medium onions. 1/4-inch slices. All right, that's the onions. And those will go on a little bit of oil on the pan. Meanwhile, those pans in the back are just going to start cooking really fast because it's going to take a while to cook those squash, and we want to get those nice and al dente before we're ready to go. Yeah, so if you're eating raw eggs all day, I've met a couple weightlifters that do that, bodybuilders. Yeah, I met one guy I saw. It was just amazing. He had the largest biceps of any human being. He was the world record holder. This is back in my the days when I was in Venice, California, at World's Gym. It used to be Gold's Gym, but he sold the name to Gold. Sam Gold was the guy who owned World's Gym. And when I was 17, I joined this gym. You know, I was going to be a bodybuilder. But I didn't really want to spend the money on the membership fee, so I just... Anyway, I met this guy who had 24-inch biceps. Oh, I lifted quite a bit when I was young. When you get older, like Arnold, he's trying to cut back. He has probably a swimming regime now. You wouldn't eat the crap that I cook? Are you kidding me? You're missing out, man. Baking the squash would take forever. Yeah. I can't do that in a 40-minute show. Are you kidding me? Well, I was cheap back when I was 18. That's how I saved enough money to retire. I mean, you really can't retire. Look at Donald Trump. He owes $2.4 billion. He's just addicted to money. No, you fire up an oven and it'll cost you $20 in electricity too. This is way more efficient. Are you going to have an argument with me about cooking? Seriously? Well, he had a 24-inch bicep, which was, I think, the record at the time. And all he did was eat eggs and drink milk all day long. Just pop eggs in his mouth raw and drink milk. You got to have something kind of a screw loose to do that. Okay, what do you got? Trump humiliated Jeff Sessions after the Mueller appointment. Yeah, we knew that. This is old news, man. We covered it live. Well, you call it average. I teach people how to cook quickly and easily. I'm going to save so many people around the world money on food by having them cook for their own meals as opposed to fast food. And you'll be living longer too. Well, it might cost you $20 to use an oven in some cities. You know, the rates are pretty high. I didn't check his stools, okay? You don't walk up to a guy, bodybuilder, world record holder with biceps 24 inches and say, so, how are your stools? I'm sure he ate some bread or something. I mean, why are you picking this whole thing apart like dissecting it? You're going to make raw egg butter coffee right now? That's pretty weird. Who would be the better cook, Trump or, oh, definitely Dave Bowie. Trump never made a meal for himself in his life. He probably stood next to a barbecue and BS people about the money he'd love to borrow from. I'm going to make you so much money, just give me money first. That's the whole trick he pulls. He's a scam artist from way back. He learned from his dad. His dad was a slumlord. And so is Jared Kushner and his family. They're all slumlords. So you're worshiping a slumlord, you Trump-tards. Okay, that pan's hot enough for the onions now. We'll throw a little oil on that sucker. 3 tablespoons. And I prefer using olive oil or peanut oil, preferably, or actually olive oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, and then peanut oil in that order. Avoid corn oil because it's genetically modified. I'm going to go ahead and put those onions in there. And today I'm using a really great Italian seasoning to make the base of the meat sauce. I'm going to take the level up to level 6 now. So all burners are running at level 6. The mark of the devil. Today I'm going to be making a Cantizero herb dish from Savory Spice, but you can use any Italian seasoning you have. I'm going to chop up those celery too to put in there. Let's put a little, like a half a teaspoon of this on the onions just to get started. All right. Cover it up. Good. Cutting that off. I'm just going to shave these pieces down to size here because they're the base of the unit. The last of the stock. I'm doing some stem celery research right now. Hey, we don't allow the N-word here, okay? We have a strict rule against racism. Yeah, that's just intolerable. We cannot allow that. You need to stop being mean to people based on their color. I've never dumpster dived. That's just not true. That's a lie. There are a lot of urban myths being spun about me right now. It's about time, yeah. I don't really think that would be good for the dinner. So I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to peel these carrots. Okay, do you think I can peel these carrots in 30 seconds? Does anybody think I can peel both of these carrots in 30 seconds? Combined? Are you ready? Okay. On three. 3, 2, 1. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013, 1014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 1021, 1022, 1023, 1024, 1025 seconds. Carrots in 25 seconds. I have enough time to dice them. Okay, we got a roaring boil going in pot number 1. Pot number 2 is going to take a little longer because it started later. Okay, I'm going to cut those carrots to half. And we'll do the same thing, about an 1/8 inch dice, nice and small. Okay, we'll get those in the onion mix. Carrots down first. Celery. And I'll give it a little stir. Stir all the ingredients together. That's just not acceptable. I got to cut that again. From the pan back to the board. We're screwed on the board here. All right. That's all set to add a little bit more Cantizero herbs or Italian seasoning, whichever you prefer. So totaling out about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm also going to add a little paprika to the dish. And roasted cumin. You can add chili powder to replace both of those items. No more than about a third of a teaspoon of either one of those, or chili powder. All right. Then take that half package of hamburger. Hello. Uh-oh. Any scissors will do, I guess. This is the weirdest scissor I've ever had. All right, that's good enough. All right, I got to. I'm going to have to watch where my scissors are. Okay, so I'm going to pull that hamburger out of there. And put it right on top of those onions and other vegetables. Just push it right out of the package, invert the package, push it with your fingers. And that's beef. Oh yeah. High in amino acids. Nothing like it. It's what's obviously going to be for dinner tonight. Wash hands. Thoroughly wash hands after handling meat. Take handy paper towel and wipe down hands. Nice. All right. I like to throw onion powder on top of this kind of a mix. Kind of cook it from both sides. So I'm going to take my Indian powder, which is still caked at the bottom, and I just moved it around. Give it a bunch of shakes. Okay. I'm going to press it all down. Put the meat right in on the grill with the vegetables next to it. And grill one side of the meat for a little bit. That fat in there really melds and adds to the flavor. It creates a carbon taste with the meat and that's really why people cook with beef. You can't get that from veggie burger. You paid $9 a pound for Argentinian beef. That's a good deal, man. My beef came from the Downer cow farm, where all the Downer cows were so high on drugs and food growth hormones that they could barely stand up. That's when they finally looked up and they saw the last glimmer of sight while somebody plugged their head and then killed them. They say that every pound of hamburger has about 9 different animals in it. I'd love to be able to reform the USDA plan, make sure that we have really good tracking of these animals, not have any Downer cows in there. It'd be nice to know that it was grass-fed Argentinian beef. American beef should be as good as that beef. Smells like sweet butter. Oh, man. Well, I have no idea where this beef came from. I could give you the name of the label if that helps. It came from hell. The Double R Ranch out in the Northwest. It's not too bad. At least it wasn't Harris Ranch out there in California. Oh, man, you drive by Harris Ranch and all you do is smell manure. I'm sure that their manure in Northwest smells too, but really, are you serious? Are you sure? Okay, thank you for sharing. I love fries. We had no idea this was going on. Is this a news item? Amber's in the other room. I got her a little catwalk. I got to show this to you while everything cooks. Okay, I'm going to turn the back flame down to level 3. And both flames down to level 3, and they're going to just cook. But before I go get that item, I want to show you, I'm going to stir this one more time. Give it a good turn. Kind of rotate the meat in around the vegetables, but keep the vegetables on the side. Okay. And I'm going to hit it with some more chili powder. I like this particular chili powder I make. It's got a little spice to it. Oh, come on. Piss off. It's giving me grief. I haven't used it enough. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's enough of that. Gives it kind of a Tex-Mex flavor. You can use hot sauce too if you have any hot sauce. I'm going to have to pass on getting the cat carrier. I've got too much stuff to do here. You'll see it some other time. I got a little a stairway for her to go up and down the bed. Kind of a cute little stairway we picked up. I assembled it. Okay, I'm going to take this can of tomato paste. That's very affordable. I paid 33 cents for this, so it's very affordable. You've probably seen me do this before. I take a knife and I pull the contents out and put it in a jar like this. I'm going to have to get a new camera here. This camera is on its last leg here. Put water in it, like that. Stir it around. I'm boiling the spaghetti squash to get it cook quicker. Believe me, I've tried it in the oven. It takes forever. Cutting it in small squares makes it, and taking the skin off really helps it cook faster. Okay, so you mix this up. I did wash my hands. Yes, I did. I washed my hands. That's okay. Making spam. All right, I'm going to turn I'm going to turn the meat sauce down to a level 3 now. And I'm going to add both cans of tomatoes to the mix. We're at the 15-minute left mark. Now, these diced tomatoes are the best deal in the market. They come from California, and they're in tomato juice. The meat is pretty much done by now. Just make sure you push it around with a spatula, pressing into it. I'm going to stick with my plan of using wooden spatulas. I prefer it. And then just mix everything together at the bottom. The carrots are almost done. They're kind of al dente. But by the time this all melts together with the sauce on top, it pushes all the ingredients upwards into the meal. And it's a fusion of sorts. Now, this meal is surprisingly low in salt, so if you want, you can add any number of salted ingredients to this. But I would recommend adding a little bit more water to this, too. Hang on. There's a thing called a salt shaker. So you can take the salt shaker and go like this. Give it a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Unless you're using store-bought tomato sauce, you're going to need a little extra salt. Okay, I'm going to add the tomatoes to the top. And then I'm going to continue mixing this tomato sauce on the fly. I'm going to add more water to that. So I'm saving the equivalent of about, I'd say, 3 containers of small tomato sauce. So it's about a 50-cent savings by doing it this way. It's not that boring. All right. Should I sing a song for you too? All right. So we're going to pour this in there and pushing all of the tomato sauce around the edge. Pour it right around the edge. And get every last drop. And if you've got some at the bottom, add some more water. And you're good to go. Okay, we're at level 3. I'm going to cover it up. I'm going to get some regular Italian seasoning here. And whenever I cover the top, I add some Italian seasoning to the top. You know, I think the right technology is what's really messed up on this thing. It's not acceptable. I will not accept this. There you go. That's better. Wow. Okay, I'm going to check the tenderness of the squash. It's still cooking. Still cooking. Both of these are still at a full boil. I've got the sauce cooking, and I'm going to take that up to level 6 again, and we'll go back to 6 on that one and 3 on the other ones. You know, I'm losing my taste for cherries. Yeah. I love food, and I treat it so respectfully. The mic sucks, yeah. Yeah, I'm using a standard mic on a computer. You got to understand, this is a scaled-down show. And I'm pretty much done cooking, so I'm going to use this to blow my nose. Thank you. Now I'm going to get another rinse job on my hands. Thank you. So I didn't touch my nose with the food. Yeah, it's an adequate mic on this gaming computer. I've got a really cool mic setup for the show tonight. I hooked up the microphone that Mad Dog sent me, top quality microphone, and I got all the components for it. Hey, got a full boil going here, level 3. I'm going to turn the back one off. It's almost done. I'm just going to let it sit in its own heat. The front one, I'm going to cook a little bit. No, I'm doing pretty well. I'm not turning gray. I'm hanging in there. Yeah. Well, the mic is hooked up in there, and it's going to be a really bigger sound than you've heard from me. And I've got it all worked out to sound really good. And I've got the other mic as a backup, so if I have to go to it, I will. Gray, really? Well, I can't really see my hair from the back, so I can't tell. Hey, well, let's go to the next step and get a container to put all this stuff in. All right? Because I really don't think cooking should be stressful. It should be relaxing. So let me get that big glass thing that I make my meals in every week, because you see it all the time. This is the best thing to put my 7 meals in, I'll tell you. Really am glad about it. We got the strainer for the squash. And when I put the squash in the container, I put a little butter in there with it. So you might want to add a little butter to the configuration. And here's a novel idea for those of you who are salt sensitive. A lemon. You can use lemon and lemon peel in your dish, and it's a salt replacement. So if you're using low salt ingredients, that's certainly a way to get more taste enhancement out of your food. A spritz of lemon over the spaghetti, and then add the sauce, something like that. But if you are cooking with store-bought tomato sauce like they get at the dollar store, like Hunt's makes, it's a pretty good product. It's very reasonable, and you don't have to go through all these seasoning things that I do. Okay, I'm waiting for that to heat up, so I'm not going to actually put anything in it. But I do want to get rid of every little last drop of tomato sauce. Hey, thanks for reporting in on the butt cheek issue. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, come along. Wow, that's like a full amount of sauce. I'm glad I've made enough food for everybody. Meaning Sarah and I. Well, if I had friends, but they wouldn't be allowed into my complex because I don't allow people into the home here. I live in a top security situation. The compound is completely in lockdown at all times. Even Connie's not going to be staying here much anymore. Yeah. Ever since I went into the harsh reality that I get numerous death threats, I have to live, within the security perimeter of my home. Yeah. Connie may not be staying with me anymore, so that's okay. It's her choice, really. She doesn't like the video cameras everywhere, All right. Okay, this is going to take a little mix in the back here. What I like to do is put a little Parmesan cheese in the mix while I'm cooking it. It just adds a little dimension to the taste. Okay, I'm going to move everything around gently. It's a good sauce. Looks good. Kind of poke it. You don't want to move it too fast because it's almost at the top. You're trying to make that cook as fast as possible at level 6 or medium on your stove. I'm just letting the other stuff sit in this boiling water because I know it won't hurt it to sit in boiling water. It's going to get better. Okay, so I gently mix the whole sauce together. It's kind of like a bolognese sauce. It's just a beef sauce. And again, if you've got any hot sauce you want to use, you could definitely use it. I don't recommend using anything like this. 100% pain. It's the hottest habanero sauce in the world. I don't recommend using that. Hey, you know, I forgot something. You should have reminded me. I forgot my my pepper. I blame it all on you. I'm going to turn on the base of this dish right here, and since it's visionware, it can take the heat, and I'm going to get that up to a level 4. I'm going to heat this up so it's going to cook while it sits. Meantime, I'm going to go ahead and cut into this beautiful pepper. And I'm going to put something at the bottom of this that I haven't mentioned once, and I'm amazed nobody's mentioned in the chat. And that is, I'm going to put garlic at the bottom of this dish because garlic doesn't need that long to cook. In fact, if you put it in later in the dish, it's more medicinal. So what I'm going to do is put the peppers at the bottom of this glass dish as it's heating up to level 4. Put the peppers down there too, at the bottom. And this can be true if you have jalapenos. They cook better at the bottom of the dish because it gets rid of the heat. These have no heat whatsoever. They're just a yellow pepper. Now you can put mushrooms in this dish if you have mushrooms, but I'm going to go without it because it's kind of like a vegetable thing going on here. I'm going to turn that burner off over here. That's done. And I'm going to cook this from both sides. When I talk about fusion cooking, I really am cooking fast and hard and really hitting it as fast as I can. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of olive oil at the base of this glass Pyrex thing. Just about 2 tablespoons, or 2 teaspoons rather. And we're going to throw those peppers in at the base. Okay. And I'm going to take 2 heaping teaspoons of garlic from California. This is garlic from California. I prefer it over the Chinese garlic. One and 2 at the base of this dish. That went right into the big dish. Okay, everything's done. Everything's al dente. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to start pouring the spaghetti squash water down the drain. So I put cold water down there so it doesn't shock the plumbing system. All right. That goes right on top of the peppers at the bottom. Okay, that's one container. And we'll do another container now. It's kind of a waste of hot water. If it's winter time, you could put this hot water in a tin and let it sit in the corner of the room, and it'll heat your room. All right. But since it's still almost not even quite autumn yet, we're going to go with this. All right, so that goes in I'm going to layer this with a little Parmesan. You put some Parmesan on top of each layer, like that. Put that in there like that. Okay. Turn the back burner off. Leave the front burner on level 3. Pour all that sauce right on top of that. Okay. I'm going to add a little water to this, just because I don't want to lose any of that good flavor. Okay. And I'm going to put all of that right on top of there, like that. Okay. I'm going to press it in, like so. And I'm going to turn that flame eventually down to a level 3. Or it is at level 3. I'm going to turn it to low now. Yeah, it's actually perfect. It's going to cook fine. Okay, you can top it off with a little bit of Parmesan. You know, I'm going to expand this dish to 10 people. I think we could fit 10 people out of this dish. Seriously. I'm going to change the designation to 10 people. I'm going to cap it off and literally let it sit on a warmer for the rest of the evening. And I'll be serving it perfectly good. It's still a little bit raw. It's still a little bit raw. But, and that's what she said. But in a little while, all those flavors will come melding together into a mouth-bursting foodgasm. Ah. Ah. And it's so healthy for you to eat this way. Hey, let me make a change here. We'll go to $5 for 10, because I had no idea how much this would make. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go start the show now. So you guys can hang out. I'm going to stop this show. It'll be uploaded tonight at 2 in the morning. And we're going to go ahead and start the show in just a couple minutes. So hang in there, refresh in about 15 seconds. Take care.